I'm Eric Bliss, the Director of Religious Education at First Unitarian Society of Denver, and this is a time for all ages. Two girls dancing together? Stop that immediately. That is just wrong. It is unnatural.
So why are we at the state capitol today?
Because people are being oppressed.
Oppressed? Seriously? What do you mean by that?
Well, what do you think I mean?
Funny you should ask. I think the government is denying people certain privileges based on their identity and in a broader sense based on who they are inclined to love.
As you probably know, this form of oppression is nothing new. In fact, this sort of thing has happened throughout America's history many times. In June of 1958, a couple named Mildred and Richard Loving were legally married in the District of Columbia. Loving and loving. I like the sound of that. It's somewhat appropriate when you think about it. As it just so happens, Richard was a white man and Mildred a black woman. And during this point in America's history, many states chose to make interracial marriage illegal. After their wedding and upon their return to Caroline County, Virginia, where they lived, where it was still illegal for them to be married, they were arrested for violating the law. Richard and Mildred were charged with a felony punishable by a prison sentence between 1 and 5 years. On January 6, 1959, the Lovings pleaded guilty and were sentenced to 1 year in prison, with the sentence suspended on the condition that they would leave the state of Virginia. In 1968, after many appeals, tremendous stress, and much struggles, the Lovings case made it all the way to the Supreme Court, where they won in a landslide 9-0 vote. The court dismissed the charges, supporting the 14th Amendment and their right to marry in the process. Justice was served.
Yeah, I had heard about that. In fact, I remember a related quote Mildred Loving made about her experiences many years after. Surrounded as I am now by wonderful children and grandchildren, not a day goes by that I don't think of Richard and our love, our right to marry, and how much it meant to me to have that freedom to marry the person precious to me, even if others thought he was the wrong kind of person for me to marry. I believe all Americans, no matter their race, no matter their sex, no matter their sexual orientation, should have the same right to marry. Government has no business imposing some people's religious beliefs over others, especially if it denies people's civil rights. I am still not a political person, but I am proud that our names are on a court case that can help reinforce the love, the commitment, the fairness, and the family that so many people, black and white, young or old, gay or straight, seek in life. I support the freedom to marry for all. That's what loving and loving are all about.
After Mildred's death, her daughter Peggy Fortune told the Associated Press, "I want people to remember her as being strong and brave, yet humble, a person who believed in love." Wait just 1 second. I will dance with whom I choose. I will love whom I choose. This is my right as a person of conscience and free will. Love is natural, and it is my unalienable, undeniable, and irrevocable civil right. And I choose to